Hey everyone, welcome back to another video here on the channel. I literally just ran inside from mowing the grass because Hyundai has finally announced the full pricing and packaging for the upcoming 2026 Hyundai Ioniq 9. Now, some of this information, including the packaging and even the range figures, have been released over the last several weeks, but we have been waiting on the pricing to see what this new 3-row fully electric crossover is going to cost, and we finally have that information, and I would say for the most part, it's not surprising and somewhat in line with its sister vehicle, the EV9, and of course other mid-size or larger 3-row fully electric SUVs currently on the market. So let's not waste time, go trim by trim, tell you all the features and packaging before eventually getting into that pricing information. I have some exclusive color information as well, including what some of the most popular colors will be, what some of the rarest colors will be in terms of production, and just go over some of the other information that Hyundai has released in the last 30 minutes. So quickly at the beginning of this video, I just did want to mention that all Ioniq 9s will qualify for the full $7,500 federal tax credit as of me filming this video and as the Ioniq 9 is launched. Now, of course, we won't know what will happen to that credit here over the coming weeks, months, who knows, but all Ioniq 9s will qualify at the time of purchase, and some newer Ioniq 5s currently headed to dealerships will also qualify for the full credit with the updated revised minerals inside of the battery packs. So just note, if you're looking for an Ioniq 9, all of them will qualify for the 7500, and some of the newest Ioniq 5s that are arriving right now will start to qualify as well. So starting out with the trim levels of the trim structures, there's going to be 5 different trim levels with a exclusive calligraphy design package, which builds upon the standard calligraphy equipment, but there's going to be 5 main trim levels: S, SE, SEL, Limited, and Calligraphy, with that additional calligraphy design, which we'll cover here in a second. So starting out with the base entry level S trim, this will be a rear wheel drive only. They will all have the same 110 kilowatt hour battery with heating and preconditioning. This is the one that goes the farthest on a single charge at 335 miles. Has a 160 kilowatt rear electric motor, so very similar to that of the Ioniq 5 and the Ioniq 6 and their base rear wheel drive configurations. But some of the features, of course, will be up on the screen. I'll read through them quickly. They will include the ICCB charge cable dual voltage. So we'll have the NAX or the J3400 connector on the one end, of course, a 120 and 240, as it says, dual voltage cable. So it'll be interesting to see that. Will come with the CCS to NACS charging port adapter as well. But this is a fairly basic trim level in its configuration. It has things like LED lighting, 19-inch alloy wheels. It does have heated side mirrors. The auto retractable flush door handles are going to be standard. Hands-free power liftgate. You have rain sense wipers even on the base trim, which is always a nice feature to have. And of course, most of the driver assistance tech that you'll find on Hyundai's kind of standard safety suite. Collision avoidance with pedestrian cyclist junction turning, lane crossing, even evasive steering assist, forward attention warning with the driver attention warning, so it will have the eye tracker, the facial monitor above the steering column. You got rear cross traffic, rear park distance warning for the front and the rear, so front and rear parking sensors, high beam assist. This is going to be a 7-passenger configuration. So S through SEL will be 7-passenger. Once you get to the Limited, that is going to be a 6-passenger with the second row captain's chairs. And you have highway drive assist to smart cruise control and the 12.3-inch CCNC with navigation and a standard 8-speaker audio system instead of the usual 6-speaker that Hyundai does inside their vehicle. So nice to see a few more speakers for the standard base trim level, but of course you guys can read through all of this information up on the screen, and will be a link down in the description below. Now moving up to the SE trim, there's actually not a bunch that is gained going from the S, but there are a couple big configuration changes. So the SE will come standard with all-wheel drive or a dual motor configuration. It will be the 160 kilowatt motor out back with a 70 kilowatt front motor, which is the lesser of the outputs available. This one's using the same 110 kilowatt hour battery with 320 miles of estimated EPA range. And in terms of features and options that you're gaining over the base S trim, it's just a couple things: 8-way power passenger seat with 2-way lumbar, and a terrain drive mode select, which Hyundai is actually rolling out across many of their 2026 model year vehicles. I believe this was a feature that was already found in Canada on a lot of the product, so it doesn't surprise me that we're getting it here in the United States, but those are the 2 things that you're going to gain with the SE, in addition to standard all-wheel drive over the base S trim. Now moving up to the mid SEL grade, this one again, same all-wheel drive configuration as the SE, so 320 miles of EPA estimated range, but you're getting a little bit more convenience and comfort technology, including the 360 camera system, front, rear, and side parking sensors. You have parking collision avoidance assist for the back only, and then the blind spot view monitor for the digital gauge cluster also comes with the 360 cameras. You have 20-inch alloy wheels, power folding side mirrors, H-Tex trim seating surfaces in a solid color with a gray and black, I believe, two-tone interior option as well. Ventilated front seats, heated second row seats, heated steering wheel, premium dorsal plates, auto-dimming interior rearview mirror with garage home link, as well as ambient color selectable interior lighting, as well as the interactive steering wheel pixel lights that go and tell you when you're charging. Some of the other dry mode selections and stuff are interactive with those pixel lights. So that is going to be the SEL. Probably going to be a pretty popular trim level if I had to guess, but I think there's going to be some reasons people might want to move up to this next limited trim for a couple different reasons. So moving up to the limited, these are going to be the performance trim levels within the lineup. So the limited and calligraphy will feature a more robust, more powerful all-wheel drive system with a 160 kilowatt front motor and a 160 kilowatt rear motor. Of course, substantial increase in horsepower and torque with that. And these trim levels are going to be rated at 311 miles of EPA estimated range. So really not a huge drawback or deficit going to these more powerful versions. Same 110 kilowatt hour battery pack. You get 21-inch alloy wheels with the limited and calligraphy, panoramic sunroof, H-Tex trim seating surfaces, two-tone available, first and second row relaxation seats as part of the limited with the second row captain chairs. So this is again 6-passenger configuration where the S through SEL are 7-passenger. In addition to these second row captain chairs, you get 4-way power lumbar, ventilated second row seats, inboard folding down armrests, one-touch walk-in with motorized power return. So it's the button on the top, which basically allows you easy access to the third row. Wing type headrest, you have the first row with the 4-way lumbar instead of the base 2-way. Integrated memory driver seat, power folding third row seats, power tilt telescopic steering wheel, sliding center console or that universal island, and the rear door sunshades. And then continuing on a little bit further, you get the Bose 14 speaker audio system, the E-Active sound design with some of the adjustable and configurable drive mode sounds, active noise control for the road. So this is active noise cancellation as part of that Bose premium audio system. And this is a new feature coming to Hyundai products that some other manufacturers have been using over the last several years. Fingerprint scanner, Hyundai Digital Key 2.0 Premium, as well as vehicle to load 2-way onboard charger in the cargo area. And I'm not exactly sure how this works in terms of a 2-way function, if it's like into the vehicle and out of the vehicle, but it sounds like it's going to be a pretty powerful outlet. And you know, vehicle to load, of course, has been around on Ioniq 5 and Ioniq 6 for the last couple of years, but this 2-way functionality will be interesting to see how it works and all the details about it, but that will be on the limited trim and higher. Finally, moving on to the top fully loaded calligraphy, we have the calligraphy exclusive exterior and some interior design elements with color combinations. So you get more of the body color accents on the outside versus, I believe, the gloss black on the limited. And then you have a matte black plastic on the S through SEL trims. You get premium side door garnishes. On some of the other safety technology, you get the parking collision avoidance assist for the front, back, and side. So it'll be interesting to see how that works, if the vehicle will actually steer out of the way to avoid a collision or whatnot. You get a more premium H-Tex seating surface material for the first and second rows. This is again a new feature that has not been found on any of Hyundai's other vehicles within the lineup, including the other Ioniqs. So interested to see how this premium H-Tex differs from that of the normal H-Tex. You get calligraphy exclusive interior trim with C-pad material. Not exactly sure what those abbreviations stand for, but they're likely a type of injection molded plastic or whatnot. Real aluminum trim, two-tone leather wrap steering wheel, perforated design door trim, microfiber suede headliner and pillar accents, ergomotion massaging driver seat, second row auto up-down windows, premium cargo dorsal plate, metal pedals, full display interior rearview mirror with garage home link, as well as the remote smart park assist 2, which will be found as an over-the-air software update from the base remote smart park 1, which the vehicles will ship with. And then finally, you do get head-up display as well as the dynamic welcome feature on demand, which again will be an over-the-air software update. that the vehicle will receive after BlueLink is activated with its first owner and whatnot. Now, you might be curious about that calligraphy design package, which I mentioned at the beginning of this video. That is essentially a package for styling reasons on top of the standard calligraphy, and gives you the 21-inch turbine alloy wheels, which absolutely look phenomenal, as well as matte paint. Now, there's two different matte paint colors that come with the calligraphy design package, which we'll touch on here in a second in terms of all the paint configurations and whatnot. But that is all the calligraphy design is, essentially wheels and matte paint. That's about it. Now, before we get into the pricing information, I do want to touch on some colors and some of the, I guess, more popular configurations and some of the less popular configurations if you're wanting to keep your eye out at your local dealership. Now, in terms of, first up, the total color palette will consist of Abyss Black Pearl, Cyber Gray Metallic, Snow White Pearl, Ecotronic Gray Matte, Gravity Gold Matte, Ionosphere Green Pearl, Ultimate Red Metallic, Cosmic Blue Pearl, and then there is actually another color that was kind of redacted or retracted from the lineup that was going to be another matte color. I don't know if that's actually been renamed at the time of me filming this video, but I believe it was actually one of the colors for the design calligraphy package. So I'll go ahead and put that up on the screen if I actually come across that color, but that was not going to be a popular color by any means. But anyways, in terms of those are the colors, in terms of some color limitations, if you're looking for a certain exterior and interior or some colors across the trim lineup. So we have the dark teal two-tone interior is only on the calligraphy. So there are going to be other two-tones on the limited SEL and whatnot, at least according to the feature guide, but the teal two-tone is only on the calligraphy. Ecotronic Gray Matte exterior is only on the limited trim. Interesting decision there by Hyundai, but if you want Ecotronic Gray Matte, only going to be found on limited. And then Ultimate Red Metallic is only on SEL and limited, so you cannot get an Ultimate Red calligraphy, which again is an interesting choice by Hyundai to do that. Now, in terms of which colors might be more popular or more prevalent on dealership lots, at least initially here over the 2026 model year, the most popular color configurations are going to be black, Cyber Gray Metallic, and Snow White Pearl, with the black interior as well as the gray two-tone interior on SEL and limited trims. So those are going to be a good chunk of the production alone. SEL limited, black, white, gray, pretty standard stuff. Unfortunately, kind of monotone in that nature. Now, one of the standout items, which I featured from the Chicago Auto Show just a couple months ago, Ionosphere Green Pearl, one of the new exteriors, with the black interior on SEL and limited, is going to be a pretty readily available color. So if you're wanting a green outside with an SEL or a limited, those shouldn't be too hard to find either. Cosmic Blue Pearl, which is a brand new color as well, also going to be found on certain configurations of 2025 Ioniq 5 here as of really the last couple months of production, but heading forward for the rest of the 2025 model year. That's not going to be too uncommon, spread between the base S all the way up through calligraphy. So kind of a small breakdown or a small amount of each of those trim levels will be found in that new blue exterior, which is pretty cool to see. And some of the most rare color configurations, I guess, if you will, black calligraphies, pretty rare. White calligraphies with the black interior, again, pretty rare. Basically, I guess all the calligraphies outside of Cosmic Blue Pearl are going to be pretty rare in terms of the amount that Hyundai plans to produce. But overall, that is going to be the color breakdown and whatnot. Let's go ahead and get into the pricing information, which you guys are probably very curious about. So starting out, the base S, including destination for all these prices, starts at $60,555. SE will run you $64,365, SEL $67,920, Limited Performance $72,850, Calligraphy Performance $76,590, and the Calligraphy Design Package $78,090, again, all including destination. So none of this really surprised me in terms of the pricing information compared to not only the Kia EV9, which is currently out there, but other similarly or comparable vehicles within the lineup. There aren't too many out there in the mainstream or semi-luxury / premium category, but that is basically going to be it. So $60,000 all the way up to about $78,000, not including any extra cost paint colors or any additional accessories. So basically, the way I see it is we will see probably a couple calligraphy design packages with additional accessories out there top the $80,000 price point, just barely, but we'll have to see again which ones are shipping and what accessories Hyundai has packaged on those vehicles. But the $500 extra cost colors out of the ones that I mentioned earlier are gonna be Cyber Gray, Snow White, and Ultimate Red. So if you want those colors, that will be an automatic $500 over the pricing that I just mentioned. And some of the accessories, such as the tow package, there are even side steps available in terms of the accessories, are gonna be $500 or more each. So like I said, you know, if you get roof rails, side steps, tow package, some floor mats, that's automatically, you know, $1,000 to $1,500 worth of accessories. So you'll probably see some standard calligraphies out there push the $77,000, $78,000 price point in and of itself. And some of the interesting standout announcements that Hyundai made today, or the additional information that they released, was that this vehicle will support Amazon Alexa on all grades via a future software update over the air. So that was something that was new. I did not expect Hyundai to actually provide that service or feature inside of this vehicle. So that was very cool to see. And of course, like the Ioniq 5 and the Ioniq 6 now, or all 2025 Ioniq 5s, the Ioniq 9 will get a choice of complimentary level 2 Flex EV charger via Hyundai Home if you want to pay to have that installed. So you get a free level 2 charger, or $400 of charge point credit at charge point locations. So again, the exact same incentive as, you know, if you were to buy a 2025 Ioniq 5 now on a dealership lot. So none of that is really all that surprising, but we finally have pricing information, the full information and packaging list for the 2026 Hyundai Ioniq 9. Now, you might be wondering in terms of availability, none of these have started shipping as of me filming this video, but as I mentioned at the beginning, there's gotta be pushing 1,000 of these already built, waiting to be shipped to dealerships. So I have no doubt in my mind that these will be widely available, or relatively widely available, very quickly over the month of May. From start of May, of course, none on dealership lots. By the end of the May, I don't doubt hundreds, if not, like I said, over thousands will be available and in transit or on their way to your local dealership. And I think there's a good color mix as well as a trim mix available. If you're looking for a base S trim, those are out there. If you're looking for SEL Limited, those are of course in mass. Even some calligraphies out there. So if you guys are interested, make sure to check out with your local dealership, of course, see what they have available. And like I said, a lot of these are built ready to go. So we should be seeing these start shipping very, very shortly. Anyways, that's gonna be all the information I currently have here on the 2026 Hyundai Ioniq 9. If you guys enjoyed this video and or found something helpful, make sure to hit that like button below, subscribe if you haven't already. Check out my Ioniq 9 walk around I did at the 2025 Chicago Auto Show if you haven't already. They are gonna be holding media and drive events starting this month, moving forward throughout the rest of the year. So Hyundai, if you're watching this, please give me the invite. I want to get behind the wheel, drive this vehicle, give you guys hands-on in my first general impressions. But of course, even if I don't get invited, which I really hope I do, I will have videos coming from my local dealership and filming the trims and the driving the vehicle, of course, once they come in and start to become available. So that's basically going to be it for this video. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this pricing, trim information, anything like that down in the comment section below. As always, I appreciate continued support and hope to see you guys in the next one.